What's going on, everyone? Welcome to this special international pandemic update for Monday, May 1st, 2023. We didn't have enough time to get the international update into today's pandemic video, and it's just as well because I really wanted to show you this variant proportion graphic from Our World in Data, which just updated recently to show the Omicron XBB.1.16 variant. Remember the last time we did an update that was just nothing but international data? I believe it might have been either last week or the week before. They did not have XBB.1.16, and we were just guessing that anything that fell under XBB, I believe it was assumed to be either XBB 1.5, maybe including 1.16, anything related to the XBB subvariant. Well, they've now broke it down further, so in this video we're going to show you some data from Our World in Data and Worldometers. I wanted to show you a couple things from Twitter, but as things progress with Twitter, as we all know, since Elon took over, there have been glitches here and there. And as of right now, Twitter is currently down for me on desktop version. I can get the mobile version, but not the desktop version. So anywho, taking a look here, I selected several different countries here. Can't view sequencing data for every country that I selected here on the left, but the majority of the ones that I wanted to see did come up. As you can see, I have selected here New Zealand, Japan, Chile, Austria, Australia, France, Germany, Canada, United Kingdom, United States, and India. Out of the ones you see selected here on the left, these are the only ones that had sequencing data. So I wish more countries would do this because it is really helpful in identifying new variants. And the one that probably is getting the most attention is India right now, which has the XBB.1.16 variant here at 78%. Above that is the United States, and as we all know from the CDC update, and in fact I can actually pull that up here, CDC update is at 11.7% as of the most recent update. Coming back to here, the United Kingdom. The United Kingdom for the XBB 1.16 variant is currently at just 1%. Then we come up here to Canada, and up in Canada it's now 3.67%. Then you come here to Germany, and look at this. It is hardly, not even a percent in Germany. Their dominated variant is currently the XBB.1.5, as is the same deal down for Canada and the United Kingdom. Then we come to France. XBB.1.16 is at 1.53%, and their dominating variant continues to be XBB.1.5 as well. Then we come over here to Australia, I should say, followed by Australia. And in Austria, check this out. They have 7% XBB 1.16. Then they also have a recombinant variant, which is at 15%. So that's rather interesting. Then comes the XBB.1.5 variant, which is at 45%, and just XBB itself is at 17%. Now Austria. In Austria, they have 83% of the XBB.1.5 variant. XBB.1.16 is just 2.76%, and that recombinant variant is just 1%. BA 2.75. Anyone remember that? That's still 6.14% there. BQ.1 is at 2.3%, and XBB itself is at 4.15%. In Chile, check this out. XBB.1.5 is 88.76%, and that is the dominant variant. They have hardly any XBB.1.16, just 0.5%. And XBB itself is 5.33%, and BQ.1 is at 2.96%. And coming up here to Japan, now this gets even more interesting. In Japan, remember the old BA.5? Yes, the variant that we had here in the United States that caused a wave that was significantly underreported last summer. That is at 22.83%. Then comes XBB.1.5 at 39.95%, almost 40%. So that is their dominant variant. BA 2.75 is still almost 15%. BQ.1 is still 8.9%, and XBB is 2.73%. But look at this. XBB.1.16 is now starting to take off at 8.93%, almost 9%. Then you come up here to New Zealand, And again, it gets a little bit confusing again. Their dominant variant is XBB 1.5, right? At 51.75%. Then comes Omicron, BA 2.75 at 34.5%, BQ.1 is at 2.63%, XBB is at 2.34%, recombinant variant is at 2.63%, and in case you're wondering, here's the XBB 116 at 5.85%, and for some reason, they still have just about 0.25% of BA.2. The United States, for some reason, for the longest time, had 1 to 2% of that just hanging around that we couldn't get rid of for some reason. Now let's take a look at some other data there. Let's take a look at some hospitalization data in these countries as well. And hopefully we do get the same countries. Okay, we got some of them. Still coming up here. Let's zoom this in to make it easier to read. And we do have a few countries that are rising. Look at this. Australia hospitalizations are starting to rise. I'm going to change this to just regular hospitalization. Yeah, here we go. Daily amount. That's good enough. And if we take a look at Australia, you can see Australia is starting to rise. 2,321 people in a hospital. You can see the United Kingdom, it's not showing a rise here yet, but we do know that United Kingdom cases, I wish I had the graphic from Twitter. Again, I can't get on Twitter desktop as many of other people are probably having the same problem right now. But they are rising there. Romania, look at this. Romania is seeing a slight increase in hospitalizations right now, so that's something we have to watch. And this green one here, France. Take a look at France. France is not dropping anymore. They had a big drop up until about February. Then that's somewhat leveled off. And France is slowly starting to rise again. So that's something we're going to have to watch. And we know if we go back here to the variants, it's not going to let me go back to the variants, but we know if we go back to the variant that they do have a very beginning stages of the XBB 116, but I don't think that's what's causing it. It's XBB 15, which is actually starting to cause their wave, which is going to be coming pretty soon. And as you can see, the hospitalizations are already rising there, so we'll have to keep an eye on their deaths here on Worldometers. All right, let's take a look at some Worldometers data. South Korea, 3% increase in cases, 28% increase in deaths. Japan, 8% increase in cases, 18% increase in deaths. India cases are down 35%. I think by the middle of this week, we'll be calling a peak on cases for India. Probably not on deaths yet. As you can see here, deaths are still up 18%. Remember, they had multiple days last week where deaths were over 40. Russia, cases down 9%. Deaths are down 5%. Here you go, France. It's saying here cases are down 17%. Deaths are up 1%, and I think their testing is a real big problem there. I've read about this in the past. Testing is such a problem in France, so while we are seeing the hospitalizations rise there, it's not being reflected in cases, but it is starting to ever so slightly be reflected in deaths. Then we come down here to Vietnam, 25% increase in cases, and look at this. Now they have recorded 4 deaths this week versus the prior week, which represents a 300% increase. Italy, cases are down 50%. Deaths are down 52%. Brazil, cases are down 73%. And deaths are down 75%. I wanted to see the variant proportion in Brazil, and they did not have that. I selected it, but they don't have that available on there. Check this out. This is concerning. Indonesia, cases are up 66%, and deaths are up 98%. 107 deaths versus 54 deaths. Again, another place I would like to see a variant, but I don't have sequencing data for it. At least I can't find it. Romania, cases are up 170%, and deaths are up 15%. All right, we'll end it on Romania for this week. And yes, that does it for our variant proportion update. We'll go back to our regular one, our regular international update within the pandemic updates tomorrow, but I thought it was important we looked at some sequencing data for the other countries, and when we get that to update again, we'll do another video like this with an international variant update. Alrighty, if you like this content, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more content like this, subscribe to my channel down below. Thanks for watching. I'll see you all again next time. Stay safe, everyone.